Guys, news is developing super fast right now, so we'll go ahead and jump into this video immediately. Apparently, Trump is telling the capital city of Iran, Tehran, that it is time to leave immediately. All right. We do know that a couple of aircraft carriers, Nimitz-class aircraft carriers, are heading towards the Middle East to assist. So, guys, get out of there. This is a suggestion via Discord. Let's jump into it, guys.
Trump warning moments ago, and I quote him, everyone should immediately evacuate Tehran, as Iran is warning that a ninth wave of attacks against Israel is now underway and will continue until
to the dawn. Yeah.
This is now the fifth night of attacks between the two countries. And just moments ago, U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth posting on social media, and I quote, he said, I directed the deployment of additional capabilities to the Middle East region. So what does that mean? Now we know
exactly that
the U.S. Navy Nimitz Carrier Strike Group is already heading towards the Middle East right now, and more U.S. naval assets capable of defending against ballistic missiles are expected to be moving into the eastern Mediterranean, closer to Israel in these next coming days. The latest Iranian attacks coming after the IDF released these new images of Israel destroying what it says are two Iranian fighter jets. And earlier today, an unbelievable moment unfolded live on Iranian state television. Let me show it to you.
Yeah, definitely a very targeted strike here. Whoa, never seen that before.
I mean, it's stunning to even watch that. Israel hit the headquarters of Iran state media. Now, the IDF said that this wasn't a mistake. They said it was a precise strike based on intelligence that the building was being used for military purposes. Now, an Iranian source sent me these letters that Iran sent to the Secretary General of the UN and the UN Security Council earlier today, in which Iran demands immediate action following what it calls Israel's, quote, deliberate attacks on Iran's nuclear facilities. And the letter goes on to demand that the UN, quote, hold Israel and its accomplices fully accountable. Now, the accomplices, the use of that word is a very thinly veiled reference to the...
Oh, yeah, it definitely means us, guys. Sorry, I had to get, to use my salt gun to annihilate a fly. But either way, yeah, absolutely. In fact, it is talking about us. There is no other way. I'm not sure that they're going to name us specifically, not yet at least. Ayatollahs are definitely brave, but I don't think that they're that brave specifically. So we have a veiled threat. I've seen these letters.
The United States. But while the U.S., of course, backs Israel at this point, clearly the two countries are not entirely on the same page, as sources tell CNN, that President Trump opposed an Israeli plan to assassinate the supreme leader.
Wouldn't be smart.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu refused to take that option off the table today.
Yeah, that's expected. That's 100% expected, guys.
It's not going to escalate the conflict. It's going to end the conflict.
Okay. Yeah, guys, it'll definitely escalate the conflict. The problem is that you can control like the mullahs and ayatollahs, etc. Kind of, right? But if you take the supreme leader off of the map here, you think you're going to have the ability to basically control everything, but you won't, right? I mean, this is another sovereign nation, and guess what these other individuals are? There are contingencies set up specifically, in every nation. If something happens to this guy, this happens again. You get what I'm saying here, guys? Nothing good comes from you taking out a figurehead. Again, you're trying to turn Iran into Libya.
Oren Lieberman is out front in Tel Aviv to begin our coverage. And Oren, what is the latest that you're learning? As we understand it, Iran is saying that missiles will be coming to where you are from now all the way till dawn.
Yeah.
Well, we at least got some sense of that. Just a short while ago, we had to run to the bomb shelter downstairs in the hotel about 1 hour ago, where we spent 20 minutes there because of warnings of more incoming, including here to Tel Aviv in the heart of Israel. At least according to Israel's emergency responders so far, like Magen David Adom, there were no impacts, so either those missiles were intercepted or weren't able to strike the targets and hit in either military or residential areas. That being said, it's 2 in the morning here, so there are at least 4 or 5 hours until dawn, and we saw missiles incoming at about 4 in the morning last night, so there's very much the potential for more ballistic missiles and more drones as the night goes on here. Meanwhile, as you pointed out, Israel has continued its strikes in Iran and in Tehran. In addition to hitting Iran's state broadcaster, they took out 2 aircraft on the ground and have continued to go after other targets as well. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said so far Israel's strikes against Iran's nuclear facilities have set the nuclear program back many, many years. He wouldn't give a specific number on anything like that, how much they really have damaged the nuclear program. But Israel's former defense minister told CNN earlier today that it was some years that they had set the program back.
Yeah, guys, that's definitely just an assumption, because the problem is that how Iran has structured things, that they definitely do have a gigantic structure that is very, very incredibly deep underneath the ground. So what they were able to basically take out so far were the things that were, moderately on the surface here. I do not suspect that the majority of their intel or their study, let's say, into this is going to be found on the surface. You may have set it back a couple of years, right? I'm sure he's right here, right? There's a lot of infrastructure, a lot of leaders that were basically taken out and things like that. But again, I'm guessing the bulk of everything is actually stored in there, super, super, super deep, bunker that is underneath the ground that you're not going to be able to under any circumstance take out. You're going to need us to help you. And I'm guessing this is why, again, Trump is saying, hey, guys, in Tehran, maybe it's time for you guys to run as fast as you can out of the area, because indiscriminately about to start doing craziness.
Meanwhile, there are rising casualties on both sides, 24 killed so far in
24.
Israel. Meanwhile, a much higher death toll.
What's the number?
Iran,
2-something.
224 killed there.
224.
And it doesn't
okay.
look like this is going away anytime soon. Iran has vowed it will not negotiate under attack. Meanwhile, Netanyahu spoke of what he called, quote, complete victory. That is a phrase we've heard for
many, many years, for many, many cultures around the world. Yeah, absolutely. Whenever you are, kind of in a scenario where you're, in some type of kerfuffle, of course, you want complete victory, specifically if you have a superior, military along with an ally that can destroy everything on the planet.
War in Gaza, which is past 600 days now. And this fight, although it's incredibly early here, shows no sign of an off-ramp right now, no matter what President Donald Trump promises about perhaps finding a way to end this conflict, quote, soon.
Okay.
All right. Oren, thank you very much. Live in Tel Aviv. We'll be checking back in with you this hour. Out front now, Ophir Akunis, the council.
Okay, so guys, the person who sent me this video wanted me to stop here, but we'll play it for a couple more minutes.
General of Israel in New York. And Consul, I really appreciate your time. So
thank you for
to start with, President Trump had said, okay, he's going to come back from the G7 and he's going to get this over with. But then he also said Tehran should be evacuated right now. Just to take that statement, that one statement, Tehran should be evacuated right now. Is he right?
He's not going to say
1 hour
anything.
ago, they fired 10 ballistic missiles toward our civilians.
Okay, how many did you fire towards them? When it comes down to listening to one side of the story consistently, they tend to kind of fluff it up and make it look better. But by looking at the numbers that this guy just stated, 24 lost in Israel, 224 lost in Iran. But let's go ahead and see. We're going to keep going. Something tells me that these are mostly civilians in Iran.
They fired 10 ballistic missiles toward our civilians. Now they want a ceasefire. After almost 50 years of saying that they want to destroy us,
along with a preemptive strike on their sovereign nation, do not leave these things out.
Almost 50 years of saying that they want to destroy us. Now we, for your question, we will accomplish our two goals: destroy their ballistic missiles and nuclear capability, and that's what we are going to do. Even if it will take weeks.
Okay. Even if it will take weeks. Okay.
Yeah, so you cannot absolutely, expect for them not to respond.
So I just want to understand, as everyone wants to understand
that was
more
the
about
given,
this
guys.
So, ballistic missiles, nuclear program. Let's talk about the nuclear program.
Exactly.
We've got the latest satellite images of Fordow, which of course is
Fordow. Okay, hold
the
on.
main nuclear sites and the one that is at least known to have
that one.
Substantial assets deep underground, which was done in order to prevent Israel from bombing it. It's buried deep in the mountains, 300 feet or more underground, as we understand it. Okay, we understand, analysts keep telling us, it is the U.S. that has the so-called bunker buster bombs that have the ability to destroy an asset of that sort, and only the U.S. But I ask you, can Israel destroy the Fordow site and that deep nuclear capability without U.S. help?
No.
First of all, we will not take We will not take decisions for the American administration.
Okay, then why are you keep asking us to fund your country, guys? Why do we have to fund this country if you don't need our help? If you won't listen to our advice and our knowledge on certain things, then why exactly do you need us to come and save you? Why exactly do we need to fight your battles consistently? I don't know, guys.
We will not take decisions for the American administration. We will do whatever we can, and we are doing it to prevent the Ayatollahs to hold a nuclear weapon. This is the most dangerous thing to the Western civilization, and I'm talking about this studio, this place, this city as well. So we are trying to do it. We are doing very well until now. We want, first of all, to defend our people from their missiles and from the nuclear weapon plan. This is very dangerous to the world and to Israel as well, and we are doing whatever we can to prevent it.
All right, so I am just curious, though, when your prime minister says that the strikes so far have set back Iran's nuclear program a very, very long time, many, many years.
Exactly, quote.
Why is that not enough?
It's not enough because
he wants complete destruction.
We suppose that they are trying to progress their plan, even though it's almost a week that we are there during this operation. We are not counting on them. We must be sure that we'll accomplish our two goals, and we are not sure yet about the nuclear sites. We want to be sure about. I suppose that there's more than two, but you mentioned the two of them, and we want to be sure that we'll accomplish our goals, and then we can say, you know, what we can do with the Ayatollahs. We're not talking about the Iranians, Erin. We're talking about the Ayatollahs. That's right, exactly.
Consul, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Robin.
All right, and I want to go now to the former Defense Secretary and CIA Director Leon Panetta. And Director Panetta, you just heard the Consul General there from Israel.
Okay, guys. Okay. So we got through this next segment here. It's interesting, guys. You know, war is terrible, right? Specifically, it's terrible. Okay. Generally, like historically, we normally don't just immediately kind of jump on the team of the group who preemptively does things. But I understand, you know, this is Israel, so we kind of have to back them, right? In some manner at least. But this is a lot of life loss, guys. All right. Like I'm not one of these like bleeding heart, you know, emotional crybaby type of things, but I understand the concept of human life, and I do think that it is absolutely important. I've been around the world enough. I've experienced well over 100 countries, and I in that travel, let's say, I've kind of learned that it's never the people, bro. It's never the people. It's almost always the government. Okay. Like it's almost always the government. Normally when the people and the government agree, that's I don't know, bro. A little weird, right? That's a weird place to be in, let's say. But generally everywhere that I've been, it's the people are people. The people are going to consistently be people. So when I see 24 people that have had their lives, you know, taken away from them, let's say in Israel versus 224 that have been taken away in Iran, it's just like, bro. Was every single one of them? You get what I'm saying here? Like I understand, like, because you have to protect yourself no matter what you do here, guys. You always want to make sure that you are, you know, protecting yourself in some meaningful manner at least. So when I see 24 people have lost their lives specifically after being from the country that preemptively struck another sovereign nation, and then 224 within the nation that was initially struck have lost their lives due to most likely more and more and more missile attacks, guys, right? Guys, I hate the concept of this. Like just all of this is such a frustrating thing to encounter. I'm not like a super emotional, like, you know, empath or none of these things here. It's just life is important, guys, right? It's important. The people are paying the price for the government's tyrannical nature, right? And that would easily define that would beautifully define Iran. I would say that would Yeah, tyrannical government, guys. Okay. And most of the people that I've encountered that was specifically Iranian have no ties or love for the government. Never. I've never experienced one in my travels that was just like, yeah, you know what I'm saying here, guys? Never. So it's just like what 200 over 200 people lost their lives, and they don't even agree with the nonsense, guys. They don't even agree with the nonsense like that. That's crazy, guys. But this is not going to end. It would be great if we can kind of, get this over with as fast as humanly possible. And complete destruction of another nation doesn't seem, it doesn't really make much sense. But if you want to sit here and, regime change, I mean, understand you kind of, that's a tricky thing also there. But do your thing, okay? Just leave us out of it, please. Because I would honestly not even pay attention to this if our money wasn't being wasted in some foreign country. I'll be honest, right? But we're here. Either way, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. If you guys are new here, please like and subscribe. I'll try to respond to as many of you guys who yell at me in the comments. That's fine. We're here for it.